Alafia, aho, ase, namaste, and blessings to all. Welcome to Shadow of Wolves. Ireomo, Ireoma, Ariku Babawa, and blessings to all of you. Let's talk about some heroes. Let's talk about some martyrs. Let's talk about some orisha or even avatars that have sacrificed their lives, sacrificed themselves, and some that are forgotten. And blessings to Memorial Day. And blessings to those of you who continue to live the legacy and follow the tradition of orisha. Now, in understanding this, let's go over, as I requested, for those of you to follow me on YouTube for a longer version of this video. Woo! Ekwa yansa, ekwa yansa. Congratulations to my Yabo, our Yabo, and blessings to Obatala, and blessings to Achosi, and continuing on. This has made me go deeper into my studies, and also in conversing with my sons Ile in Cuba and asking them about different martyrs and them sending blessings to us as we were crowning our Yabo, Yansan or Ya, and blessings to his pure heart, love for tradition, being humble, and gratitude. Let's move on, because I have an important avatar of an orisha to talk to you about. Now, oftentimes we do not speak about Moremi. Moremi is said to be the avatar of Oya Yansa. Moremi was seen bathing in the Niger River, in the river of Niger, Niger. And when she was seen by the great king, Obada, immediately he fell in love with her. Now, oftentimes, it's not about what we have, how much we have. It's the ashe that walks with our spirit that allows us to save and to bless others. So when seeing Moremi, Obada fell in love with her. She has and is said to have 9 markings of orisha or ya. And they say that she is a goddess and that she is the avatar of Oya. Oftentimes she is spoken very highly of in Cuba. We must continue remembering these names of these different avatars and the sacrifices of female orishas. Now, in understanding Moremi, as she was being witnessed taking this bath in the river, he fell in love with her smooth, beautiful, deep, dark chocolate skin. And he said, my goodness, this is a queen of her own right. However, she was very poor. Her father was a farmer, and she did not know that she was being washed. When the king sought after her, and gladly she met him and fell in love with King Obada too, he brought her into his castle. However, in bringing her into his castle, there were many that said, oh, she doesn't need to be queen. She's not of royalty. She originally had to be one of his concubines until he deemed her queen. He deemed her queen as the name Yalorde means queen, and he deemed her queen. So in her being deemed as queen and having the strength as a warrior, rarely resembling Oya, who is known as the orisha of strong queenship and a warrior, even the resemblance of shield maidens. So her walking with this strength, it was prophesied to Obada that Moremi will save Oyo, that she will be the martyr and the hero of Oyo. So let's go in understanding that, because back then, and hopefully now, most of us still have faith in those who are able to prophesize and to give spiritual advice. This happened to come true upon the most saddest sacrifice. So in continuing on, 3 years later, when Moremi became queen, she asked Echu how to save the kingdom of Oyo. Echu was given the sacrifice of a chivo, a goat. Upon that sacrifice, Echu said, your sacrifice is not over, Moremi. I need you to go to the lagoon of the great Olokun to see what else needs to be done, as Olokun was very, very feared and is still a very feared orisha. Any orisha that has the strength and the transformation of 6 months male, as they say, and 6 months female, very powerful. She had to go to Olokun to see what else needs to be done, as Eshu is the road opener, and told her to go to Olokun. Elegua is the road opener, but this is Eshu that gave her the advice, a difference. So as she went to Olokun and she was going to make her pleads to Olokun, on her way, these so-called demons that were going to take over the kingdom of Oyo, these demons that showed up in the prophecy that she will be able to defeat, and only Moremi will defeat, was watching her, making her way to Olokun, and they kidnapped her. Oh, they stole her. And not only did they kidnap her on her way to Olokun, but they brought her to their king, the king being Oba Tata. Oba Tata saw Moremi and fell in love with Moremi. And he said, you are going to be my wife, whether you like it or not. The warriorship that this beautiful goddess, avatar of Orisha, went along with this. I love the strength and silence. She said, yes, I'll marry you. She waited days later because she didn't spill water. She stayed quiet as a true warrior will. And she said, I'll marry you. They prepared her days and days to marry Oba Tata. Now, Moremi knew the language of Nupe, because that's where she is from. And that's where she was witnessed being in the bath and bathing in the river. So she knew the language. They started making fun of the people of Oyo. They started calling them superstitious. They started saying how they're so stupid, that they're not really demons, and that they believed in demons and they didn't exist. And they were actually disguising themselves to be demons. And they were speaking in Nupe, not knowing that Moremi understood the language of Nupe. She then escaped and made it back to her husband, Obada. And she told the people of Oyo what had happened, how she was captured, that the demons were not real demons, that the demons were actually men in disguise who were taking advantage of the superstition of the people of Oyo. So she still made her prayers to save Oyo. Now what happened? Oyo truly, truly fought that battle. Please look up Oyo with a blessing. King Obada fought that battle. They won. As she went to Olokun, let's go back. She made her way. And this has been told to through chieftains and elders in Cuba. And I made sure and had everything, the Pataki, we say story. She went back. Oh, she went back to Olokun. And she said, now what do I owe you? Because you, my people, have triumphed. You have made us one. He said, you owe me your firstborn son. She was in shock. Now, please do not judge our religion, as we can go back to Abraham and Isaac. We can go back to those days where the orisha or Viking days, where the gods did require, instead of animals and animal sacrifices and burnt offerings, they did require humans. Well, at this time, she gave the life of her firstborn son, which was the child of Moremi herself and Obada. Very sad. She gave this child to Olokun, who took the life of the child, and she did what Olokun asked. 3 years later, as we have to realize there's a lot of power in the number of threes. 3 years later, she gave birth to another son. She could not get over the loss and the sacrifice of her firstborn child, her son that was given to Olokun. And she gave her second son in the arms to her husband, King Obada. And as she gave her son to her husband, she walked away filled with tears as she never got over that loss. Never. And she walked into the river and she cried and cried and cried. Her energy, Moremi, became indistinguishable from that of the river, and she became one with the river. Not only do they say that she was the avatar of Yansa, of Oya, Ekwa, Yansa, Ekwa. This beautiful goddess immersed herself with all her tears and her grief for her loss. But she is a martyr and she is a hero. Not only is she a hero in the town of Oyo, and thankfully they recognize her in Yoruba lands and they recognize her in Cuba. Many recognize her here, but do know that she made the ultimate sacrifice for changes to take place within the kingdom of Oyo. Had she not done that, there probably would not be an Oyo. It could very well be where a lot of people who have ancestors from Nigeria and so forth and had to hold up this name would not be here. So in looking at my notes, she is an active deity of the Niger Valley. She is an active deity and she is recognized. Once a year in Cuba, they do recognize her. So I hope that there was great understanding in the Pataki, in the story of Moremi. N-O-R-E-M-I. Also, for those of you who love these stories, please like, share, comment, as I was asked to speak about these different martyrs and understanding the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice of these different warriors. It is said, going into the orisha Oya, that she is, with all due respect, the female orisha that carries cajones, that carries balls and strength as a warrior. This woman, Moremi, had no idea that Olodumare chose her to save the kingdom of Oyo. Wow. Alafia, aho, I say, namaste, and blessings to you all. Please also follow my godson, mi indio espiritual. I know I cannot pronounce it. My spiritual Indian, okay? I know, hey, on Instagram, as he has made beautiful alekis for my yabo. And he also makes different masos and rosaries. And he is on Instagram. And he is amazing. And he has the energy of Tinjo Alawe. And he loves Oya. And please follow him. It's Mi Indio Espiritual, and or some say Espiritu, but I want you to follow him, and blessings to his artwork and his creation, and blessings to you all, and blessings to those of you who are seen and unseen, who make a sacrifice, those of you who pray in silence for others, those of you who are able to forgive and forget, but to stand strong, those of you who cry inside and who have lost your loved ones, but truly honor and respect your life, that you don't take it as well. Those of you who carry the strength of love, the blessing of all the deities, the blessings of feminine and masculine energy, and blessings to all of you. Alafia, aho, I say, namaste, and thank you for watching Shadow of Wolves. Good day.